All right, everybody. Welcome back to From the Mechanics Bench. It's been a long time since my last episode. This is episode number 10. This is one of my favorite people in the world, Liam Mather. He's been a pioneer in mountain biking sports, in bike sports in the Yukon for a long time. He's worked at shops there. He's cut his teeth in places that none of us could really think about. And now he's here and he's kicking ass. So now he's one of my best mechanics. Well, he is my best mechanic. So say hi.
So happy to be here, Dave.
Yeah, it's good times. So let's hear about your story. How'd you get into mountain biking?
I don't even know. I started building bike jumps
Bike jumps are
and
where it's at.
yeah, and parents were just super supportive. They had a
Yep.
backyard. I'd build bike ramps, build a lip, some landing somewhere and
Somewhere.
see where we ended
Go
up.
for it.
Yeah.
So what's like the biggest thing? Was there a moment in your riding career that like made you know that like mountain biking was what you were gonna do?
I think it's when I started coaching.
Yeah.
I started seeing kids progress and then I just started riding all the time.
And like you've also got another special part of your coaching journey. You are type 1 diabetic, I believe,
Yeah.
right? Type
Yeah.
1. And you've now seen a few kids come through, like not necessarily not believing, but like just not knowing what their life
Yeah.
could look like, and you're still doing it.
Yeah, yeah, it's been like that's been like the thing I've lived with, and biking's been what I love to do.
Yep.
And for me to be able to ride bikes, I have to be on top of my diabetes.
Yep.
And I've met people that have been Olympians that are type 1, and that's inspired me to just see that I can do whatever I want to do, even though I'm type 1, and it doesn't have any limits.
And you've seen young kids with type 1 diabetes as well come talk to you after being
Yeah,
in clamps.
and
And
that's been like even recently.
yeah.
Like, um, I went to camp when I was young, met a bunch of people, and it inspires me to this day seeing like young people that don't see that every day. So
Yeah, I mean, like
it's
it's
pretty
and
cool.
it is something that's pretty hidden. I think there's a lot of like hidden adversities that we see in our world, and I think that for me, like I probably have met other people with type 1 diabetes, probably, but I don't know if I've ever met anyone that I knew like openly, and especially performing at a high level of sport. Um, Probably pretty rare, like going through all my hockey teams and whatever. I'm sure some of them were dealing with it, but like it was never the same. I didn't know about it. And then when first met you, I remember being so intrigued
Hmm.
about like how it all worked, and then at the end of the day, you were like, dude, I manage it. It doesn't matter. It's all good.
Yeah.
Like things are good.
Until recently, I was like quite embarrassed about it, like for no
Actually,
reason. Yeah,
yeah,
which is weird to me now, but and there's no real reason why,
zero.
but I was super embarrassed about it, and I kind of did everything I could to hide it.
Yep.
And like it's just something I've lived with, and like I've seen other people do like incredible things,
Yeah.
but I know that also there's a lot of people that live with stuff that's, they don't show every day.
Yeah.
Those are things that they do on the back end.
Yep.
But for me, it's like now it's become more something that I'm somewhat proud of.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
when I see other, especially young people, that I get to kind of get a sense of not mentorship, but
Yeah.
kind of pride. It's
You get to be
incredible
an
to me.
icon to them.
Yeah.
You get to be someone that gives them someone to look up to,
Yeah,
which is pretty
exactly.
special, right? Like, and that is pretty special. Like the moment that you can show people that whatever you want is actually possible because I'm doing it is a special time, man.
Yeah, and it's not just I'm doing it, but like I got to
People are.
see other people, and I
Yeah.
don't know how many other people are like how many young kids now are getting to see that because I'm not super involved,
Yeah.
and but I just know how many other
People are
people are
crushing
going
it.
through stuff and crushing it and
So outside of
having
that,
the best time.
which is sick, which you're still going to continue to do. So anyone, reach out if you do want any, if you have any questions about diabetes, living with diabetes, being active with diabetes, reach out to me on my channel, whatever. I can put you in touch with Liam, who probably has more answers than I do. So reach out for sure. So other than that, what is it about mountain biking that has made you who you are? Like you're one of the I told him earlier tonight, one of the most naturally talented mountain bikers I've ever met in my life. And I've been very lucky to ride with a lot of really good people. What is it that brought you into it? Like, what was the thing that got you hooked on that as opposed to fishing or, you know what I mean? Whatever else it was.
I started cross country skiing, all
Yep.
that. I love the racing aspect, but mountain biking, it's just that, you drop in, you see the trail sign, and then you don't see anything else.
You just go.
Everything else is gone,
Yep.
and it's just you like
You're there.
you can't describe it. So I think that's what it was, and it's still that. Like it's
But especially for you and growing up in the Yukon where winter was
long.
a long time, what kept like was it hard to still love mountain biking like that you had to, or was it what did that look like when you first fell in love with it?
Growing up there, like there wasn't that many people that were super into it. There's a lot of like there are people. There's a good scene there. There's a
Yep,
very, very good scene there.
there it is. Yeah, shout out to Yukon.
Yeah. But, in school, not so much. But
Yep, like more of a tourist scene coming in to ride the.
yeah, and that's more recent. Like
Yep,
there's always been like a pretty good scene in the
good.
Yukon.
Yep.
And, you know, I've got to give a shout out to Kate White. She's, I don't know how to even explain it. She's such an amazing person. She's,
Yep.
you know, yeah, it's
She just was in charge of the scene.
yeah, she's I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for Kate.
Yep. Was
And
that with like your time at high school? Was she part of that, or was it even
yeah,
before that?
so it was before that. It was starting out being a kid in the bike camps, and she was one of the coaches, and then started working at the bike shop, started coaching with Kate, and she was just always she just loves everyone.
Yep.
She just wants everyone to have fun. And that's how I got into biking.
And that's what biking is for the most part.
Yeah. So
And
that
then,
was
so is
the
that
big
what
thing.
you convinced you to then work at high school? Was that like the kind of bridged from like a kid to a job? Was that connection? And
There's a few things like I'd done some other kind of part-time jobs, but I really wanted to work at the bike shop.
yeah,
This is what I wanted to do. And I went down, did my mechanics course,
yeah.
and
Shout out to Jeff Bryson at Bike
yeah,
Room too. Yeah, we know it.
thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
And came back, started learning how to build wheels,
Yeah.
work on bikes, and it just went from there. I've worked in a bike shop basically ever since. And
It's so crazy to me how many like stories are so similar to mine.
yeah,
Where like you dabble in it, you are there in bikes, and then all of a sudden you get sucked in and you're like, I'm doing this. Like this is
mhm.
this is my thing. However, we have to figure it out. I will find a way to do it because you're now majoring in business administration, I think, right?
Uh,
Is
Doing a bachelor's, yeah,
Yep.
in entrepreneurship. So
But it's like so you're doing education,
yeah,
you're doing school, you're doing
yeah,
post-secondary, all things are amazing. Myself, my own degree is pretty much garbage, um but you still found yourself drawn back to this place and you're still figuring out ways to help the companies that you work with, like
mhm.
optimize to do. Is it weird for you to live in a place where the the commercial aspect of things sometimes can butt heads against the love of sport? Like everyone should be involved.
Yeah. There's there's definitely a lot of that. There's a lot of yeah, it's
Conflict sometimes,
yeah.
man. It's hard.
I know it's no, I don't even know how to explain it. It's no, I don't think any of us know, but it's tough because and I know that your big question at the end of the podcast is what's your most
Hot take.
controversial
Yeah,
hot take? And I do think a lot of people are not a lot of people in the bike industry aren't in love with biking.
totally. We can get into the hot take right now.
Well,
Was my hot take too.
yeah, and I think like if you don't love biking,
If it's a vessel to make you money, it's doing wrong things for
yeah,
the industry. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
it's
do agree with that, man. I think that we've seen it with quote unquote innovation.
mhm.
And I'm also not one of these like people that's like 1970s bikes were better than what we have now. But I've been in it long enough to see so much innovation that was the next best thing come and go in 4 years, 3 years, like disappear. Like it was nothing. It was a useless thing that marketing teams were trying to sell.
Mhm.
And that's not what mountain biking should be. I think mountain biking could take a lot and learn a lot from skateboarding culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's
Oh
like
yeah.
you just need a bike, you need your helmet, you need your shoes, and that's it. Like go ride your bike,
Yeah.
you know? And the people that have the CCM,
Yeah.
they'll learn really quickly, like
It's not the bike for them.
not the bike for them, and but then they'll work. They'll cut lawns. They'll do paper routes. They'll do fucking lemonade stands. They'll do, makeup like symposiums, whatever the fuck they got to do. They'll figure it out because it is important. Like, and I feel like that's a really special thing about mountain biking is it has been a passion based industry for so long. I think that sometimes gets taken advantage of that it's passion based. Um, but it's still like one of the most beautiful things that can happen to people,
I
so
can't get away from the
can't get
that
away from it.
feeling every time you drop into
So
trail.
what's your favorite? You've been an avid trail builder for years. You were building up in the Yukon for a long time. Give me what was the most epic build you have? So not the epic stunt, not the biggest thing, but like what was like the one stunt that you built or that you were a part of building, because or trail you're a part of building that is like sticks out to you more than anything else.
There's just one little corner that people got super stoked on that was soft and you just
Where was it? Let's
get
hear
into
it.
it. It was in the Yukon and
What
it was
trail?
just me and my buddies. It wasn't even a trip,
Just a corner.
just the corner.
And that got the crowd stoked.
It got us stoked.
And it made everyone have fun. And so
And
today, when you
like
still think of trail building, that's what you think of is
I
that
just want
corner.
that feeling. I just
And this is a man that has
everyone's
now
smiling.
come and
Everyone's smiling.
worked on some pretty major projects. And this is the thing that like matters so much, I think, is like that's the feeling. If you had to distill all mountain biking, you know what I mean, to a pill,
Mhm.
It's like I want that corner in the pill. I don't want all the rest of it. I don't want all the things. I want that feeling there. Yeah, which is pretty rad. So if you now going forward in your life, what does mountain biking mean to you? Does it mean racing? Does it mean filming? Does it mean projects? Does it mean just riding totally for yourself? Does it mean like what does it mean? And how do you fit that into your like life? Like you're a young dude.
Mhm.
Soon enough, you'll probably want a family. I mean, probably 12 years from now, because you're pretty young, you can have some fun still. But soon enough, you'll want like you're like where does it fit into what you do every day?
The big thing for me is that I can do some racing.
Yep.
I want to be able to train and do some racing, but I spend a lot of time on Instagram. I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I
Yep.
do appreciate the video parts, and that's all mountain biking. Like
Yeah.
it's all the
Watching it.
same thing. So it's like, you have a lot of things that are just one kind of outlet
Yeah.
where you have just the contest side or just the video side. But
When you say you spend a lot of time on YouTube or a lot of time on like you're
just
watching
watching,
mountain, you're
yeah,
just in,
yeah,
you're taking it in. Yeah.
yeah. And like learning from that
Yeah.
and like seeing that and just getting stoked.
So would you rather be on the other side of that lens, the creating? Because so we do a lot of work for whether it's people like Matt, whether it's like people like Lane
Yeah.
that are in contests or doing big things, you know, we're not in front of the camera for a lot of that,
Mhm.
but we are a big part of that. I think those guys would all, they'll all be on later, but they'll fully agree. Um, is it more important? Like, or like, where does it sit? Because for me, I've always been happy, like, because I never had the skill set. I was never that good a mountain biker. Like, I was good. I worked hard at it, but I was never like
You're selling
naturally.
yourself short there,
No,
dude.
I was never very good. Like naturally, where it comes from was never like I had to work really hard
Mhm.
at all my things. So when then you look at the level of athletes that we're dealing with, like it's like that's outside of my range. But you're in this ground where I think that you're in a middle spot, right? You're incredibly talented. You're strong enough, you're young enough, you're smart enough that if you wanted to, but you have up till this point chosen to support other athletes.
Mhm.
And so do you still get the same, you're watching YouTube videos of the compound. You just built that bike. Like you just did that the night before. Is that like
No, I
is
get
that pride? Is it
for me, it's like it's not pride. I'm not
I'd be
well,
proud.
yeah, there's
I'd be
pride.
proud.
There's
Dude,
pride, but
Gully, I'll tell you right now, when I first built your bike for Rampage, the first time I got to see you ride it in Rampage after I built it, I was like,
yeah,
I made it.
I take that back. There's pride. I would say the bottom line is pride.
Yeah.
The bottom line is like I'm stoked
Yeah. Pumped.
that I get to see this happen.
Yeah.
Like
Watch it. Watch something new.
and like the thing that gets me the most stoked working in the industry and being a part of the industry is seeing like the guys and girls that are just pushing it and
Dude,
the ones that are having a good time doing it and having
not even
fun.
better. Aren't
It's
they better?
and they come into the shop or you see them, at my house. I hang out and just have
And
a good time.
and as pros, just also like be humble as fuck. I've
Mhm.
called out so many pros in the past, but like there's people that are like they come in. You don't know how to even adjust a brake. It's your living. And then you got the people that are like, I know I don't know how to do shit. So help me. Great. Like don't come in with an attitude of, anything.
Mhm.
And then they still change it and then you still see people now that I think are like it's a really interesting place where you've got YouTube channels, you've got these like not pro, like subculture pros that are making more money than a pro contract. Like if you have 4 million followers on YouTube, you're making more money than any pro contract. So we're now in this place where we've got these riders that are maybe riding to a lower difficulty, but in a more explainable way. They're sharing their journey. How what do we see? How does that what does that do for mountain biking? Is it wrong? Is it good? Is it
I mean, I don't have the answer to that, but
I'm putting it on a
like,
hot spot right now
I
though.
know that's crazy. But like, yeah, we all get a little horned up on
Yeah.
seeing like a crazy video on Instagram.
Yeah.
But is that bringing out the, you know, best rider?
But I'm more asking about like the athletes that I don't think are actually, you know what I mean, that they're pro YouTubers,
Mm.
mountain bikers second. Do you know what I mean? And I have lots of personal stories with lots of big YouTubers that I'm very disappointed in, you know. If we get over 10,000 viewers, I'll name them all. So that's
Fuck
what it'll
yeah,
be.
I'd love to hear him because I have no
And
idea what you're
then
talking about.
but
But
it's I'm frustrated with people that are
yeah,
YouTubers first and mountain bikers second.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And I say Instagram,
yeah,
but Instagram is like the,
same thing, same
Instagram,
thing, same,
TikTok,
same.
short,
Social media.
social
Yeah,
media, and this content is first for views,
yeah,
second for the biking,
comments. Yeah, yes, exactly.
and comments are somewhere in between.
Yeah,
But like, I love seeing someone that's got no views that did
send it.
something super sick,
Yeah, have fun.
you know?
And even when they don't even like send anything massive, but they're having the right time with the boys or with the girls or the
And
whatever, they're
yeah,
having the right time. That's what hits.
and I could tell that it was just like,
That hits.
I think if you stood there,
Yeah.
could be a
There's a
scenario.
link on this channel to the very first mountain bike video I was ever a part of. Still stunning. It's old school as shit. It's funny as hell. Watch it. But that is mountain biking to me.
That is mountain biking.
So, what do you see? Like, if you have a crystal ball,
Hmm.
you also have unlimited resources. What do you do in the next 5 years for mountain biking? Ignore the rest of your life. What do you do next year, like next 5 years? What do you change? What do
Get
you
it.
do?
I'd probably get everyone, I'd make a crazy potion,
Yep.
hypnotize everyone, and just
Yep.
make everyone super stoked to ride their bike.
So I think we can still do that, but
100%.
we have to just cut out. I think we have to cut out a bunch of like you don't need a trail, a down country, a half country, a bull country, a fucking whatever. We have to have some bikes.
Yeah.
We have to have downhill bikes that do their thing.
You need the
You have to
big
have
bikes,
trail bikes.
which is 170 mil.
Well,
Or,
enduro bike, we'll say, let's say 170, and then we have a trail bike, it's like 120, like cross
yeah,
country.
yeah.
Like I'd say to me, a trail bike is a cross country
Yeah.
bike. And I'm like, nothing else should exist in the middle.
Yeah.
And you should just have fun doing it.
Yeah.
But are you gonna race again this year in the future?
Well,
You've been a big part of Johnny Helly's like version of coming to be a downhill. Like the guy's been an enduro horse for a long time. He's been on the podcast before. I think it was episode 6. Check it out.
that
But
guy's episode made me
it was awesome.
like,
But
I
you've been a
watched
big
it
part of
3
his journey
times.
too, man.
I love that
You
guy.
know, he's amazing. So given what he said, like where we're I know you like to race. You're a fast dude. What do you see like in your future to do it?
I'd love to, like, I was not sure what I was going to do this summer,
Yeah,
and
we
think
stole him.
stoked
Hard.
on
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, your dad for construction
no,
company,
but
but
you got his knee
yeah,
replaced.
yeah, he's good.
But saw him this weekend, and you know, went road bikes and
With your mom too, which is also sick.
yeah.
He also just did a custom decal job on his mom's bike.
It'll be on my
Fucking A
Instagram.
right. Yeah. Follow it. Yeah.
But no, I'd love to race. I love racing. Like I'm
Best.
like
the best.
I've been, I think, turning my competitiveness internally for a bit,
Yeah.
which is hard,
Yeah.
but getting to bring that to a track is
It's the
probably
best,
what I
man.
need. And
And I find the best thing about mountain bike racing is like we talked about this story, right? When we raced enduro together. The best thing about racing in mountain biking specifically is that you get to be still best friends while you're trying to beat the shit out of each other. But you're beating each other by like
margin.
4 seconds. You know what I mean? So it's like we can also go ride together. We can also like on any given day, like there is no difference. But that clock does tell a difference. Like it's pretty special when you see athletes. I mean, I remember racing with you that whole day at the Harbor Enduro. We
Mhm.
rode up every upstage together. We talked the whole time. I think you put 22, no, more than that. 2 minutes and 22 seconds, I think, into me
I
over the
have
course of
no
the day.
idea.
And at the end of the day, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is this like, like, but we still had a great day riding together. Like we had an amazing day riding together, even though I like got, crushed on the clock in my category. I had a great time. You crushed in your category, and I had the best day riding in a long time. Like that's fucking cool.
No, it was like that's what I think racing, like if it's, you know, enduro on the high level
Yep.
is super sick because I know that those guys are doing that same thing where
Yep.
you and I are going out
They
and,
are.
we're battling together, we're talking, we're getting to know each other.
Yep.
And I accidentally didn't zip up my fucking hip pack and all my fucking nutrition fell out. Some dude got to the top, he's like, yo, someone dropped a bag of mangoes.
Like
And I was like,
me.
dude, those are mine.
Like I need them or I'll die.
But like
Yeah.
we all split them
Yeah.
and and then we all dropped into our runs
Next
and
stage and yeah.
it was all good. But it was just like, like it's those little things break the tension, then everyone has a better time riding.
Yeah.
It's I love that about enduro. And downhill has been the same. Like
Dude, downhill is the
I
same, man. Like people like to say it's
yeah,
like exclusive, but it's not,
it's
man. It's
not.
just a different, it's like being a goalie in hockey. You're a different person,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, racing downhill. You know at some point the piper comes calling, you're gonna hit harder, you're gonna crash
Yeah.
harder, you're gonna do all these things. But it's like the crowd is the same at the top. No one's
At the
shit on
top,
each other.
it's your
Everyone's
buddies.
fucking hanging out, man. We're all here to have fun, right? So
Yeah. I find it cool, like seeing, especially like in BC, it's like I know a lot of the guys, and it's like I look at the start list, I look at the seeding results or
yeah,
something. Like I don't know who I was hoping was gonna seed first because
yeah,
they're all
they're all good
buddies. Like they're all fucking super fast.
and they're all fun, man.
Yeah. So
And they can all beat me. So that's it. And it's like we're really lucky to work with a lot of people here. So we work with Jackson. I'll like copyright your name. I get it. I'll have to pay for. But we get to work with Kylie. We work with Dave Stewart. They're Kylie's dad. We work with Johnny. We work with the BC DH Union, which is a junior race team coming up. Like huge. Racing is like a big part of what I think mountain biking should be, but also like I don't want to say it's like the only thing it should be because like I want you to go have fun on your bike. I want you to get out and go ride. But there is something about that level of, and then on the mechanic side, right? Like that level of finding the edge, finding the point that can make it better. Liam just rebuilt this Charger damper the other day that requires like all sorts of sub or more standard. I don't know what the opposite like of that, like the bigger than standard service. pulling it apart, pulling out pins, retapping holes, making cams slide where they need to go. I've been very lucky to have mentors like James Downing out of Suspension Works in North Van, um, that have shown me that it's possible to not just follow a service manual all the time. Disclaimer, only if you're willing to
Follow the
like,
service manual, please.
yes, but then if you're willing to spend the time to learn how it all works, do it. So that's like been a new place for you to be in rebuilding a shim stack or doing things. What does that make? What's that relation, or does it change the relation to your own bike doing that? Like in
Somewhat,
understanding it?
yes, 100% understanding what's going on. But I feel like I'm understanding somehow more just like parking lot hop arounds
Yeah.
on people's bikes that I'm like,
Testing.
putting a little bit more into
Yeah. So in your test
doing
ride
this. Yeah.
after a repair,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But like just being like, I can feel that. That's nice. But my bike's collapsed.
Well, dude, all mechanics bikes are
Yeah.
clapped. So shout out to mechanics.
But it's
Our bikes are clapped, but
it's not collapsed. It's pretty good.
well, our version of clapped is a little bit different
Yeah.
than, a lot. And that's the other thing that is, it's a hard place to be is understanding the true cost. And this is where I fight with my sales team all the time. Like if you got a budget of 5 grand for a new bike, you actually have a budget of 4 grand
Mhm.
and you have $1,000 of service for the next 2 years. And that's it. It costs money to make things work, and our time and our labor is worth a lot, and we give a lot of it away. Like it's hard, and I'm not looking at you, Tippy, but I maybe am. Actually, he's been pretty good to me, but overall, these idiots that can't like figure out how to even tune a derailleur or change a flat tire. Um, it's hard when they're like, and they're stressing now. I got a photo shoot tomorrow. And you're like, yeah, I have to make dinner and get my dog out and do like my own life.
Well, what if we got all your friends that you've always been doing that stuff for?
Yep. Double.
Triple.
Okay. So everyone that's ever been a part of Bicycle Hub that got free service, triple charges from here. You heard it from Liam first. We're making it happen. But I do think
we'll teach them to.
yeah, we'll learn you into it. But I do think that it's like also part of the sales program, right? To know what is going to go wrong. Like not one bike on the planet, not one brand has no problems. Every single brand has issues with certain things, and that's okay. That's trucks see it all the time, and we're all okay to like we accept it. All the Chevy does this better, or the Ford does this better, or the engine on that one's great and the suspension sucks. Like we accept it in all these other things, but we refuse to accept it in mountain bikes. That it's like
You go in and yes, it's a warranty issue, but sometimes it's not what you expect.
totally.
Like
And sometimes warranty issues still need to be paid for, man. And so this is if we
100%.
can, we've talked about this a lot, where brands don't support tax on warranty issues. So like, yeah, your frame cracked, great. Here's a new frame. But now I got to frame swap that with internal routing, with all these things. Or maybe your frame, maybe even in the worst case scenarios, your bottom bracket doesn't fit and your rear wheel doesn't fit anymore.
Mhm.
And then like somehow the shop is expected to just eat that cost, which is
And that might
insane.
be almost a full day for
Exactly. For someone. Easy. It could be 5 hours. Easy for someone, which is crazy to me. Okay, well, outside of bad things, let's go back to mountain biking, which is sick. Because service is awesome. We always want to do you guys right. We'll always make it right. That is our guarantee. Looking in the eye is it will always be right. So outside of that, why right now? So you're a kid playing hockey, you're playing rollerblade, you're doing whatever. Why go buy get it? Why go get your parents to get you a bike?
You don't know until you know.
That's a damn good answer. Yeah. I
No,
mean,
but it's, there's, you're, I'm trying to think from my parents' perspective.
yeah,
It's like they want their kids to be fit, they want their kids to be happy.
yeah,
I don't know. I
yeah.
don't have kids, but
Yet that you know of.
we'll see. But it's like, you can take your bike. Like I've seen people pedal downhill bikes a
Yeah.
fucking
Oh
pint,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and those people are having more fun than a lot of the people are having,
Ride the bike you have and go ride it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like bikes are, it's such a
They should be universal
special thing. Like, yeah. So all these separate dele
categories, whatever.
categories for bikes, it's like, I've ridden,
Like what bikes do you have right now?
I've got my Weir One Arrival,
150,
170, 180.
170, 170.
So
Yeah.
it's
So like
170,
a full
180.
enduro. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big bike
Yeah. And it's a new
with
one.
two
It's
nines.
2023.
Yeah. And I fucking love that bike.
And what else do you have?
I've also got a 2013 Banshee Legend,
Booyah. 26-inch downhill
2.6
bike.
front and rear, and I have had so much fun on that bike.
Yeah.
And I feel fast. Like I think that
Both bikes are sick.
I
Like
love those bikes, and yeah, it's
that's the thing that's so
that
crazy,
Banshee
man.
has been my love child right now. Like
It's amazing. I got a 2011, 2012 version of the same bike, so I'm on board, but yeah, they're fun, man.
it's just, I was so kind of wound up on, I've got this
Brand new.
super capable
Yeah.
170, 180 bike. Like that thing is,
Dude, it is capable of shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I could ride bike park all day. But
Different.
once I got a 26-inch downhill bike,
That's the thing that's crazy to me, man, is that the wheel debate is still insane to me. It's still insane that we've decided that 29 is like, but not really, because you've decided mullets. I think it's like kind of been like the marketing decision, like
yeah,
this is what we're doing. It's just still insane to me, man. Like they don't make a lot of sense for a lot of people. Like the 29er wheel on the front does get you over a lot of shit. It lets you bounce
yeah.
over a lot of stuff. It lets you do all these
There's
things.
data to back it for sure.
But like,
But Bryceland,
dude, 27s are fucking mint.
yeah,
26 are also mint. Like, you're not going slower. Like, yes, if we're racing World Cups, you're going slower in your 26-inch than your downhill bike on 3 race courses in a World Cup out of the year. Let's say you
yeah,
are like Josh Bryson, won the last World Cup he ever won was on the 26, I think. You can call me out in the comments.
could be
But
wrong.
but no, but his last Santa Cruz that he won on, I believe was a 26. I don't know if he won again after that. Like I know he won he was the last 26-inch winner.
And he's a tall guy.
And it's like not even that. It's just a faster bike in certain circumstances, right? Like there's times and places. There's a reason why Rampage that they don't want to market runs a lot of 26 at least rear wheels, at least because they need to spin. They need to be doing like there's a reason why.
Everything's got its place.
Yeah,
Like,
totally
moving fully towards one thing seems,
silly,
yeah,
silly.
like there's no reason that we can't have all types of bikes, but not just for this is the newest thing,
Yeah,
but because this is the thing that makes me
happy.
happy on my bike, or like
So this comes in now to e-bikes. So where do they fit in? This
I fucking love e-bikes.
so do I.
Like
Now I'm changing. Anyone that just knew me from Roastman is ready to hit me in the face. But
I was trying
they're
to sell
sick.
it.
Yeah.
I was with my parents this weekend, and they're both ready to hit me when I said that e-bikes are sick, but they've got their place. And like for me, I wouldn't trade my mountain bikes in, or like
For an
my
e-bike,
my
yeah.
acoustic mountain bikes in
Yeah.
for an e-bike.
Yeah.
But if I could,
If
I
I
would have
also had the
both.
opportunity to have another one, I
Yeah.
would. Yeah. Me too.
Because it brings in, the before work, I've got an hour. I can go do a full ride. Like I
Yeah.
can go do 20K.
Yeah.
Or on the
A
weekend,
lot. Yeah.
you know, I can go do an evening lap after the bike park,
Yeah.
and
Totally.
after we went to the lake and swam. Like,
Yeah.
so it's sick because it just gets us out
More.
on bikes.
And it gets more people out more,
Yeah,
you know? And for
exactly.
all those people that are like, yeah, which was me, which was fully me,
Yeah.
Adriano. I'm talking to you right now. I'm sorry that I made fun of you for so many years. Granted, when you first got an e-bike, you were just fat and you didn't want Baker, you too. But other than that, everyone else that got into it was they are good. They are doing better things for the bike industry than they are doing worse. And I was really worried for a long time they were going to do
Yeah.
worse things for the bike
No, and
industry.
it,
They've been
it
better. Yeah.
seemed, yeah. And you think about the trail builders,
Yep. They can get
how
out. They can get
quickly they
access.
can get out.
Race organizers that can get out and get
There
around.
you
And
go. Like, I think it's nothing but a good thing.
yeah.
And kind of almost bridges that gap between moto
Totally.
because you have a bit of power. So it's not just fully the same, you know, stuff that we've been seeing
Yeah.
for a long time.
Change it
The
up.
same downhill,
So do you want to see a downhill e-bike circuit? Do you want to see pure steel DH World Cups?
pure DH.
I agree too. But
Yeah.
how about so Enduro World Series? I think the jury's spoken. We had EDR, we had the Assisted series, we had the Enduro series.
Mhm.
Both in the last little bit of the year have been struggling. The economy's fucked. It is what
Yep.
it is. They're both going to stick around.
Mhm.
But I think that we've seen like the crowd talk, like the EDR watching people climb uphill on a e-bike is not as cool
Yeah.
as
I
watching
think,
people,
mhm.
pilot their fucking bikes down the rest of the shit.
Yeah. I, s- I think I'll always think that, for the competitive side of biking, like the racing side,
Yep.
mountain bikes is mountain bikes.
Yes.
E-bikes are a super cool part of mountain biking,
Yep.
but mountain bikes is mountain bikes. And I want my downhill bike, I want my enduro bike, and I want to
Yep.
be able to do those things. And if you, if like, if I'm going out to ride e-bikes, it's gonna be the best day ever. But
So is on your regular bike. Be best day ever.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's it's
Yeah.
just like having a good time on the bike.
Is enjoy that's what the most important
Yeah,
thing is.
to me.
And that thing I think that e-bikes has done is like it's opened up that best day ever on the bike
Mhm.
that we've all had to more people. And the craziest thing is so like Jesse's hot take, who did this from DVO, shout out to Jesse. His hot take was if you're not buying an e-bike now, you're wasting your money. And I was like, I fought it even like a year ago. I
Yeah.
fought it. I was like, nah, like that's fucking. And Chase has been trying to get me onto e-bikes forever. And don't get me wrong, I'm never gonna give up my analog bikes. There's
No.
something about the thrill of working 2 years to fill a climb
Yeah.
to get up when I like haven't been able to do it when I finally get there. But now I see I can get that same thrill. I just have to find a different climb. I have to find a longer.
Yeah.
So, but the thing that's crazy in my head is like now it's the same sport. I'm just finding a different venue.
Yeah.
It's the exact same
It's the
thing.
same sport.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing. So what do we do with all the people that want to say that they just spent $10,000 on an e-bike, so they should have a say on trails, but that's their first e-bike. It's their first bike ever. Should we just tell them to fuck off?
Well, no, because they're getting into mountain biking, and they should be allowed to mountain bike, but it's like there's a lot of people
Yeah.
that their first mountain bike was a couple of years ago. They
Yeah.
buy a $10,000 mountain bike and they have no idea what it is to
Totally.
ride a bike that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you have to do everything you can to make it work.
Well, we can do that on our end, but like, what about trail organizations, man? Like that are working so hard to figure out what we want to ride
Mm.
versus what gets someone new into the sport. Like, where do we go? Who do you cater to? Like, do you cater to the high end? Which is not me. I'm in the mediocre end, but do you cater into that end? Do you make steeper shit? Do you make because if the industry had its way, it'd be all, I believe, industry. You can shout out if you disagree. I think you all want green trails for fucking people that can just cruise around all the goddamn time.
Thank God you're saying that.
Like,
Because from what I've seen from where I've ridden,
yeah,
like these places get
grants and
all this money and it goes into connectors, it goes into
pedal
cross
networks.
trails before. But you know, you need pedal net like you need an up track
Yeah.
to get to it, but then it's like you build these
Yeah.
whatever, but then you build a connector between these pedal
Yeah.
trails. And I think it is difficult for them, like for the networks to get endorsement to build gnarly trails.
Yeah.
But I think that is also on the mountain biking community to
But I think it has to be on
people
networks.
that are, but for the people that
Want
want
it.
those trails to be active.
But it has to be on the, yeah, it is true. That is true. They have to be active on it because I look at networks like North End, like Squamish,
Mhm.
that have made all of their tourism money off of having the gnarly trails they're blacklisted forever. So the legitimate organizations like grandfather them kind of in, but then don't put any money into them. And then, but it's like mountain bikes now moved past 6 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Like we have to do more if we want to be progressive. We want to get the best riders in the world to still come here. That's where the bike ranch is one of the craziest places I've ever seen as a public park. The size of the jumps they have there. And I'm not saying that's more dangerous or less dangerous than any tech on the North Shore because it's same. It's more dangerous to me because I suck at it, but like it's less dangerous to a lot of kids that are here like 6 years old.
It's
no problem. No problem.
I go there and I get humbled by
Yeah.
children.
Yeah, literally all the time.
Which is inspiring to me because I'm
crazy.
like, there's no way, but it's super cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't grow up riding big jumps. Like I grew up riding
single track and
you know, and that's still like what I love to ride. But when I go to the bike ranch, it's like
they're jumping,
learning something new every single time, whether it's how hard that hard packed clay is.
Yes, yeah. And you gotta eat it on it. Yeah.
Or, you know, some new tricks or whatever. So
but you've been teaching me new tricks too all the time. I haven't had my Sui's so good since you've just been like everywhere you go, you got it on lockdown and you just have it.
That's just how I stretch every day.
So good. Best suicide no handers I've ever seen in the game right here. I will send some pictures later. So, okay, we got not much time left. Give me one hot take. One hot take that we've already talked about all the other things. So, someone else that you think is controversial or not, or just give me a hot take. Where are we at? What are we doing? What's the message that you want people to hear?
I think we'll have to do another episode for
we will.
A proper hot take and a full message, but
you got 20 seconds to give me the message. To tell me we can expand on it next episode for sure. Give me the opinion.
It doesn't seem like people even like riding bikes these days.
I won't disagree with that. It's
It's
more about a bunch of other shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like people want to like riding bikes,
Yep.
but they have a hard time liking riding bikes.
Yeah.
It's like it's weird to say that, but
It's true.
it's yeah.
It's about more like you got color matching and fucking
Mhm.
outfit matching and pedals and ride wraps. And don't get me wrong, Callum, ride wrap, love you. I've been buying your shit since day one. But it's like more
No,
about
and
like
there are a
like
lot of people that do love doing it, but
a
I'm
lot of people
talking from
don't.
kind of seeing in the
Yeah,
industry, there's a lot of people that don't.
totally. I agree.
So I think
And a lot of people that work in the industry
that's what
that don't
yeah,
ride bikes
yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm talking from like kind of what I've seen from in the industry.
Yeah.
It's like I love riding bikes, and generally this summer, last summer, I haven't got to do it as much as I would have liked to.
Totally.
And
But we'll get there.
yeah,
We'll get there.
but I think a lot of people are in that.
A lot of people that love to ride bikes are in that spot. So then, okay.
I guess
So you
that's
got
not
that.
really a hot take.
No, it
That's
is.
just
It is.
that, well, it's
So it's an
just-
observation on the industry where we're at. But what do you, so you got 20 seconds left. What do you have to say to people riding bikes? Say something. So preamble, this man has inspired me a lot. He's, at 20, almost 20 years younger than me. He has given me like passion, hope, love for the sport, for the mechanics, for all of it. Again, naturally talented rider, humble as shit. What I've been very lucky to meet him personally. So, but they're not all going to get to meet personally. What do you say to people just going to ride right now? So we just said not a lot of people do it. They don't ride. That's our hot take. So how do we change it?
just like think about the first time you rode a bike. Think about what makes you stoked to ride a bike. Like everyone likes to have fun riding a bike. Everyone likes ripping bike park laps.
Hell yeah. Everyone likes ripping block laps around their
Everyone likes
block.
literally doing,
Yeah, having fun.
it's a bike.
So that's what it is.
Best invention since the wheel.
It's a bike.
You know.
It's a bike. Let's ride it. Let's enjoy it. Let's love it. Liam has a lot more to say. I can see him thinking right
Yeah,
now.
I am thinking.
So episode 2 is coming up next week. We'll do it at the same time. We'll see you back there again. Thank you for tuning in to episode 10 from the Mechanics Bench. I'm going to include some links in my comments, some from old videos of him, some old videos of ours that we've talked about, and we'll see each other again very soon. Thank you guys. Love ya. See ya. Remember that.
We still on.
You can turn it on now. We have to edit that out. Oh, that's so fucking bad. I just got feeding this oil bucket. I didn't give a shit anymore. I was always willing to do it on camera if it was close there. I was like,
Wait. Oh.